Watch the teammates on the front row. Will Power in the red and black car. Scott McLaughlin on the high line. Ed Sheeran says it's time to go. Let's go. There's a bit of a scramble on that second and third row. And look up on the high side. The red and white machine is Marcus Ericsson.
And behind them, Hunter Ray doing the same thing he did yesterday in that blue and gold car, but it's 2 and 3 wide down into turn 3.
How about Pato O'Ward once again going big to the high side and making it work. He's right on the tail of Joseph Newgarden. I talked about jamming him up early, and Pato O'Ward is doing just that. Side by side now for the position.
Inside Joseph Newgarden. Newgarden doesn't want to relinquish it. That's Ed Carpenter in the Bitnile machine, the gold and black car, and Newgarden has been able to fend off this man here, O'Ward.
With the arrow on board here with O'Ward, he should be able to clear Carpenter. He's in the draft with Newgarden. The track is clean to the high side, so O'Ward can use clean air without the concern of the marbles just yet. Here comes Ericsson.
Ericsson inside David Malukas hinge. Good swift move. Ericsson is proving himself to be dynamic on ovals.
Yeah, 4th place yesterday. He wants a little bit more. He wants a trophy. He's going to chase down the Penske pair up front. That's Power at the point. Scott McLaughlin in that XPEL Chevy, the yellow and white car, following closely, but it's all Will Power up front, just like it was at the start yesterday.
Awesome stuff from Ericsson and O'Ward. Ericsson up 7 positions in 4 laps. O'Ward up 5. Ganassi and Arrow McLaren hungry to mix it up with Team Penske today.
And folks, you might say, hey, he won the Indy 500 last year. He finished 2nd at the Indy 500 this year. Of course he's good on the ovals, but in comparison to a lot of the other drivers, he doesn't have that depth of experience. He came from the world of Formula One and has really made a home on ovals. He runs 3rd. He's got Malukas behind, then Newgarden, then O'Ward, Carpenter, Herter, Dixon, and Palou in the top 10.
And on board here with Pato O'Ward as he settles in behind Joseph Newgarden, making the adjustments to his fuel map on the wheel, but it was the opening lap bravery once again from the young Mexican. There you see Pato O'Ward. Let's just watch to see what he does here. Doesn't get a great start across the line, but he makes up for it quickly, James.
Yeah, he sure does. He knows how to hang it around the outside. We saw Hunter Ray do it yesterday. 3-4 wide. Look at the speed he just carries. Picks off 4 cars right there in a corner and a half. Brilliant move. In front of him, it was Ericsson that got the jump to the high side early, and then all the way around Colton Herta cuts back to the inside. Let's listen to this view. This is where it's going to get exciting.
Got some wheel spin.
Green. Little top still there. Top still there. Clear top. Outside now. Clear top. All the way up. Inside Dixon. Inside. Still down there. Clear. Bottom's clear if you need it. Bottom still clear, all clear.
Terrific stuff from his spotter, Bob Jeffrey, telling O'Ward exactly where the track was available for the taking.
Joseph Newgarden, we promised you some eavesdropping, some spy cam. Let's go there now, have a listen.
A little heavy on the right rear to start.
I copy that. These guys are kind of managing their tires around you.
Oh
Wow,
boy.
that was close. Ericsson trying to defend Newgarden. James, they almost came together in a big way.
And that's what this track is all about. It's the lap cars.
Okay, still feels heavy on the right rear, but I'm just managing.
See some more communication there, Joseph Newgarden,
For
and
the
now we got a
lead.
pass for the lead coming.
This is teammate on teammate. McLaughlin told me this morning he is driven to be victorious here today, but his teammate Will Power is not making it easy.
It's so frustrating from behind the wheel when you've got that good run down on the bottom and then off the corner. That high line can just roll that little bit more momentum and you fall back in line. He's just got to be patient. Use this lap traffic in front of him. We still have a lot of racing to go.
And this is the difference in Iowa. You catch the lap traffic so fast that as the leader, Will Power has to be frustrated with all the dirty air in front of him. He knows he has to make a high percentage decision. He also knows how badly McLaughlin wants to win today.
This is Hy-Vee that we ride with. Here comes McLaughlin again. The XPEL Chevy goes to that low side, that inside line. Can Power come back because traffic is ahead? Will's not giving up. It's side by side down the front stretch here in Iowa.
And the decision could be made by Jack Harvey. Whichever lane he takes mid-corner is going to lose grip for the car behind. So this is advantage to Will Power. He's got that clean air up top. Now he's got the draft on the straightaway. But look who's joined the party, guys. Joseph Newgarden's coming knocking.
Did not take long. Newgarden is saying, hello, fellas. Remember me?
1, 2, and 3. And McLaughlin said that yesterday. He said, when I looked in the mirrors and I saw it was Joseph. I said, oh boy, here we go. And it's on again. 1, 2, 3 teammates and Newgarden on the inside. He grabs second, he grabs the lead. What can't this guy do here?
2 passes for the Corn King in one corner. He is eaten.
And now he's just going to drive right around Jack Hy-Vee there, this hub onboard, the number 30 for Rahal Letterman Lanigan Racing. This is who the other two have been struggling to get around. Let's see if Joseph can clear him a little bit quicker. This is, again, we've talked about it so much, what he is so good at here at this racetrack. Hanging it up high, and he'll roll right around the outside.
Oh, boy.
See ya later.
All right, well, good race for second brewing behind. Let's focus on that for now as Scott McLaughlin all over the red and black car, his teammate Will Power.
They know and they acknowledge, they being Will Power and Scott McLaughlin, how good their teammate is. And here comes the youngster, David Malukas, who calls himself Little Dave, has arrived on the scene in a big way.
And now McLaughlin saying, Will Power, you got to get after it, son. We're going to get passed by Dale Coyne Racing if we don't get up on the wheel. So McLaughlin goes to second and starts to make work happen on Jack Hy-Vee. So Malukas, very strong. I'm impressed with the consistency.
Riding with Pato Award, let's check in with Kevin Lee on McLaughlin.
So when I talked with Scott right before he climbed in, I said, what did you try in the warm-up? And he said, we tried big changes, and they didn't work. So we're going back to what we had yesterday, but he was mostly joking when he said, I got something for him. I'm going to beat them all today. So far, nobody can catch Joseph Newgarden. Dave.
When we were watching that move by David Malukas as he continues to try to move up and take third position now from Will Power. That black and white car on the inside, Malukas is going to do it. I talked to him just before the race today. He said I needed the team to dial a little understeer into the car, and I think it will be great. Don't forget that nickname Lil Dave, which he gave to himself, happened at Texas Motor Speedway earlier this year when Lil Dave ran with the big boys at Penske.
But I spoke with Lil Dave earlier, and he said, hey, as soon as I get my first win, I'm changing that to Big Dave.
Well, he's on his way to a great result today as Scott Dixon now attacking Will Power. Power clearly struggling with his balance about halfway through this tire stint. Meanwhile, Pato Award making a move on Little Dave. Award to third.
And remember, Award started 11th. He's wheel to wheel with David Malukas. Can't get clear of him yet.
Malukas got checked up by that number 30 of Jack Hy-Vee. Once again, the leader's having some problems here, so let's see where Jack goes. He's going down low.
He goes low, but then he exits high, so the advantage goes to Award at the exit, I think. Oh, there was traffic to the high side.
That's Carpenter.
Malukas had to take evasive action there. He slices down the inside. Power to Pato Award, who continues to climb 11th to 3rd.
Will Power, the Penske that was struggling the most, is down on pit lane, Kev.
And he asked just a little while ago, what do the others have that I don't have? And he was told the others are running a little stiffer bar, so that's one of the changes that they can look to here. All the way towards pit out, Will Power comes in, started on pole, dropped back early on, now trying to recover and hope the car gets a little bit better as the race moves on.
Dropped to as low as 6th place. Here is David Malukas. Dave Burns.
On pit road now, Lee. They had smooth pit stops yesterday, need one today, running in the top 5 after passing cars from the start. Oh, little waiting now, stalled the car. That was the left rear.
Now Malukas is released right in front of Kyle Kirkwood, who came in from Andretti Autosport.
I'm surprised, guys, that these guys aren't into the 60s on lap count before the stops, just because you gotta back up for the finish of this race. Maybe they'll run longer here. The only thing I can think, James, is it looks like Newgarden's coming in early, is the track temp is higher today than at this point in the race yesterday.
Pardon me, that was Elio Castro Neves that came to pit road. So here is race leader Joseph Newgarden after leading 24 laps. There's Scott Dixon, bottom of your screen. Coming your way, Dave.
Lee, you heard him talk about the right rear being a little heavy. Then he had the conversation, let's just leave the car. Tim Sidrick suggested a little bit of an air pressure change now, and then later if they needed to work with wing, they could simply do that. Nice stop for the Penske crew.
We saw Scott Dixon come in. Also, Scott McLaughlin is coming in as well, all the way out towards pit out. McLaughlin comes in. Let's see if they make any kind of chassis adjustment. Seems to be pretty good at this point. Little turn of front wing. Firestone shell fuel. McLaughlin releases.
And Pato Award in the background. Here is the Arrow McLaren Chevy getting serviced and sent Now, as Newgarden goes back out on the track and builds to speed, yesterday after his victory, you'd think it would be all smiles and high fives and celebrations. He had a pretty dour expression, and he was actually quite frustrated, bordering on mad and angry, and he was quite critical of other drivers in the way that they raced him, being the race leader when they were not on the lead lap. So we'll see what he thinks about the conduct of his peers today and how he negotiates that lap traffic.
Yeah, it was definitely a surprise there wasn't a bit more elation. He was focused on the things that went wrong in the race, but that's just the attitude of a true winner, of an absolute champion who wants a true competitor. He just wants to win races, and that's what he's trying to do here again, and it's going well so far. Big wiggle from Romain Grosjean, the Auto Nation on board, giving us some great shots here as he's wheel to wheel with Ed Carpenter, easily cleared into turn 1.
Ed Carpenter 2 laps down, so this is a battle of Grosjean trying to catch the car in front of him, who's Christian Lundgaard. Whoa. Wow, Newgarden, Palou.
Top 2 in the championship here.
Palou's a lap down. Newgarden fiercely pushing here. Don't get too aggressive, Joe New. There you go.
And this is what we were just talking about, traffic and how he's raced, how he races them. It was a hot topic yesterday, and we shouldn't be remiss to mention Ed Carpenter celebrating his 200th career race.
And you have to be rolling your eyes if you're Alex Palou in this moment going, are you kidding me? Newgarden working the 3 wide high line.
Check this out. It's about to get pretty interesting.
Inside, 3 wide.
Poor Benjamin Peterson just got the championship leader on one side, the race leader on the other, trying to just not be a factor in that. But like you say, Townsend, if you're Palou, watching him drive around you, you're back in 13th place. And guys, as they run right now, the championship lead would be down to 64 points. That is a huge swing from where we were 2 days ago at 117.
There was one caution in yesterday's race, and this is the first one today, and here is the reason. It's the Argentinian rookie, Agustin Canapino. Watch the green and black car. Just got up into the marbles, up into the gray. Was a passenger.
Not a heavy hit, so hopefully they can pit here and put fresh tires on board again with Canapino. Just a lot like Graham Rahal yesterday, and Canapino started off with a great run, was up at one point 12 positions.
It's those marbles we were talking about at the top of the show, Townsend. You saw just how high that 78 got, a little bit further above where a lot of the cars have been running. And then just like Graham Rahal yesterday, you're sort of a passenger as the driver. It's so tough to know where that line is, of where the racing line truly ends and those marbles truly begin. But this is going to be a nice reset. All the cars a lap down are going to be able to get their lap back before they come in and pit. So we'll end up with 21 cars back on the lead lap if everything goes according to plan in this pit sequence.
And not just that, sweepers are out. So this is always good information from your spotters, or you'll see it from the cockpit, is the AMR safety team with the jet dryer and the sweepers up high, so you'll know that the racetrack will be clean-ish for the restart, which creates big opportunity on fresh tires.
One of those drivers delighted to be going back onto the lead lap is championship leader Alex Palou. Let's have a listen to some recent radio.
Man, there's something wrong on these set of tires. We went from super understeer to I couldn't drive now.
Yep, copy.
Yeah, it's something that we heard a little bit yesterday as well. Sometimes without any changes to the car, you'd throw on a set of tires, the balance would shift just a little bit. As we see the pits open and the leader Joseph Newgarden dives in, you're going to see all the leaders coming here, and there they are, Dave, coming in file.
So leader Joseph Newgarden agreed with telemetry that his car was going just a little bit free, but no changes scheduled for the driver of the two. Hopefully just quick in and out. He's got a lot of time before the next ones get there. Kevin Lee.
Scott Dixon comes in from third, but he'll get to his box earlier in that orange and blue PNC bank car. And then around the corner, you see Scott McLaughlin closer towards pit out. Newgarden is already away. Dixon is going to release, race off pit road. Scott McLaughlin is also going to release, and who wins that battle? It's Joseph Newgarden, easily.
Yep, and McLaughlin Dixon, so they stay as per as they came in. Here's the green at Iowa Speedway. Watch that red and white car further back. Look at Will Power, dives to the inside, 3 wide, and O'Ward's been swamped. Look at Marcus Ericsson again. Sensational on the restart.
Pato O'Ward got jumped there by Will Power and Marcus Ericsson. Ericsson doing a great job on the start and restart as Will Power now goes to the high side. Now O'Ward has momentum.
And a challenge for the lead. Scott McLaughlin on the inside. Joseph Newgarden hanging it out. Up top, he's going to have the advantage coming off, but he's under threat now.
Newgarden with a big old squirmy wiggle on the high line. That almost got away from him. Newgarden not interested at all in running second place today.
And the teammates are together again. It's 1, 2, 3, Team Penske. Newgarden, McLaughlin, Will Power back up to third. Keeps Scott Dixon behind and Marcus Ericsson, and Pato O'Ward dropping a couple of spots at the restart.
That's a great move from Scott McLaughlin into one last time. He had a run, but he didn't pull out. He wanted to see where Joseph Newgarden went. He's getting a little bit of a sense of where the two likes to run so that he can position himself better to try to make another pass.
You gotta love McLaughlin sort of ignoring the guidance from Newgarden on the restart as Ericsson goes around teammate Scott Dixon.
Lots of teammate battles going on. O'Ward's got a front seat view of that, and Ericsson does dispose of Scott Dixon.
But look, when you've got new tires around Iowa, guys, everybody feels like Superman. You can put the car high, you can put the car low, you can run in dirty air, you can run in clean air. The key is who's taking care of these tires in these first 10, 12 laps of the stint. You can do a lot of damage by pushing too hard early and overheating these Firestones. You really can't afford to do that with these 60-lap stints.
Here's the fight for fifth. The arrow on board of Pato O'Ward chasing Marcus Ericsson. Behind O'Ward is Kyle Kirkwood and David Malukas, Colton Herter and Felix Rosenquist is in the top 10. Let's go for a little ride and check out the Firestone telemetry as you watch as Kirkwood is up in the mix now.
Back, I think it's tires. One back. One back, looking low. Still one back.
Some incredible coast phase at this point in the tire stint. That's not saving fuel, that is saving the rear of your car and yourself as Pato O'Ward makes a big correction there. That's how quickly the tires are falling off. He is loose.
Oh, man.
He was loose all race yesterday, exhausted at the end, and these are uncomfortable hands to watch for Pato O'Ward.
Yeah, it's not going great in terms of balance for the number 5, but a lot of drivers are struggling. Basically, if you're not driving a Penske, you've got some sort of handling issue, so you just got to hang on to it. You can make changes at the pit stop to try to address that problem and make it a bit better.
The PNC Bank Honda of Scott Dixon feels he has a chance to get up there with Will Power again. That would be to get into a top 3 position. Here he is, the bright orange and blue car. Lead charge for anything not a Team Penske Chevrolet. He's the lead Honda in this 2-manufacturer fight in the NTT IndyCar Series. There's Honda and Chevrolet Power. It's a pretty spirited fight. And the 11 of Takuma Sato. Taku has hit the wall.
Out the car.
That's one of Scott Dixon's teammates. How wounded is the Deloitte Honda?
He's staying low in case he's got a problem to let Santino Ferrucci go around the top there. He's definitely well off the pace. And it looks like he's coming into pit lane, guys.
Good decision from Takuma Sato.
The margins on these ovals, T-Bell, are so small. Even a millimeter of toe out or something changing on that car. As we take another look here, you see him at the top of your screen, way up high in those marbles.
Just like Graham Rahal yesterday, Canapino earlier today.
Ericsson on David Malukas. This is for position. That's for 9th. And makes very swift work of it.
So because of that earlier caution, it threw out the 3-stop strategy. Everybody going to look to probably pit right around lap 200 and split this final 100-lap window, including Newgarden here. And once again, steady hands on the tiller. O'Ward just got passed by Will Power as Stingray Robb in the 51 Biohaven car, slow on the backstretch.
Oh,
left rear's coming off. That's sketchy.
They got to throw a
it's on the track.
Oh, no! Oh, boy, how lucky was that?
Oh!
Almost got the race leader.
Down the track.
Wheel on the track. Please, nobody hit it. That is so fortunate.
That was a catastrophe, Don. I'm not sure what the hesitation was in throwing the yellow, Townsend.
Was that, well, it's a bit blocked from race control to see that side of the track, perhaps. But luckily That stays inside the park. I think it was Alexander Rossi had to go to the high side up where the marbles are.
Let's have a look at the Stingray Rob pit stop. And the left rear change is saying, no, I'm not ready.
And they slow, I mean, at that point, you've got a radio to the driver. You see the wheel nuts not even on the car. It's not, sometimes a mechanic will say, hey, look, I don't think I got it on tight enough. It wasn't on at all.
Watch this.
They have communication to the driver. I don't know why they didn't tell him to stop.
Ross, oh, man. Newgarden just avoids it.
Radioed, man, we got lucky.
A lot of people got lucky there, Dave. That was, look, race leader.
That's about 150 mile an hour speed difference between the speed of the car and the speed of the tire.
And a 45-pound tire that you do not want to be hitting at that closing rate.
Back to racing here at Iowa Speedway. Look at the traffic jam. Herder on the inside of Scott Dixon. 3 wide into turn 1.
It was a great jump from Colton Herder. I don't think Scott Dixon was actually anticipating having the number 26 down to the inside, caused a bit of a traffic jam. 3 wide, 4 wide into turn 3.
And this is the pack to watch because Scott McLaughlin in the yellow and white Expel and Pato Award in the black and orange McLaren on fresh Firestones. They will be making fast and furious moves.
Here we go on board with Pato Award. Let's go for a ride.
In front of Scott, up in front of us.
Nice.
Clear,
Look at that thing working the high line.
Quite a bit of understeer, though, coming off the corner. This is the car that's been so loose all weekend long, but with that many cars in front in that dirty air, it's the front end that seems to be struggling right now. You see Pelot down there on the bottom in the blue and white car.
All clear. Do what you need there. 5 back.
Trapped. Stuck in that dirty air 2 wide. Santino Ferrucci on the high side. Award will get low. Meanwhile, McLaughlin way up the road.
2 up. He's gone from 9th to 7th. Now working on Marcus Ericsson. Meanwhile, there's Dixon. He's trying to get by Renus VK. The red and white car is Ericsson. The yellow and white machine flashing around the outside is Scott McLaughlin. Check another one off the list. That's 9th to 6th within a couple of laps.
And they'll be on the radio to Ericsson saying, hey, look, man, he's got 15-lap newer tires. Don't worry too much about it. There's not a whole lot you can do about a Penske with fresh rubber.
And you got to think in a few more laps, we might be hearing Joseph Newgarden on the radio saying we should have pit. Maybe Dixon will say that. Maybe Rosenquist, because right now, little downside for Scotty Mack.
I mean, he's got to get there first, and he's going to burn an awful lot of tire trying to catch back up to Joseph. And then, of course, he's still got to make the pass on the guy. It's not all said and done, but he's only 5 seconds back on track.
Yeah, but now he's clear. He's clear to those lap cars. He's right there. So this is paid off for Scotty Mack, I'd say. He's still got a couple more, but these are cars that were in the top 5, and he's got a strong advantage now.
Here's the race leader, Joseph Newgarden is in. He's been in command of this field, Dave Burns, for 159 laps. What a display.
No question about it, and the pit stops, whether needed for position or not, have been stellar so far. No changes requested from the driver for this last run. Fresh Firestone Racing tires and Shell Racing fuel to get him to the end.
Will Power towards pit out is going to make his final stop. Others also, I see Marcus Ericsson making his stop. Ericsson up there. Power is going to beat him out. Pato Award also right there in the Arrow McLaren car. Scott McLaughlin we're going to see coming up in just a moment. There's the exit for Ericsson. He wins that little mini battle. McLaughlin will come down, and this is going to be key. Who has had the best in and out lap? Best chance, maybe if McLaughlin to get back to the front. Could he somehow find something? Let's watch where Joseph Newgarden is on track.
He had to put less fuel in it than what Newgarden did. Is it going to work out for the Expel Chevy?
Meanwhile, Felix Rosenquist easily got around Will Power in that exchange. Rosenquist is second, and he is flying, James. This car has come alive.
All right, bud, that's Newgarden there. You know what to do. Let's go get him.
That's Newgarden, says Billy Vincent. You know what to do. Go get him.
And go get him indeed. He is absolutely after it. He got ahead of Will Power. Will had a bit of a slower stop. He had to hold up for Marcus Ericsson coming into his box. So heads up from the crew of the 12 team, but definitely cost Will a little bit of time and a bit of track position as a result.
I am so impressed with where Rosenqvist has found, I don't know why, but he has found the pace today, up 14 positions since the start. And on that last stint, Rosenqvist looked just as strong as Newgarden all the way through, Kevin, right up until the pit stop. Rosenqvist just as good on used tires.
And I think honestly, Felix Rosenqvist would be surprised where he's at. I asked him this morning, do you have anything? And he kind of shook his head. I'm not sure that we do. It didn't get any better in warm-up. Remember, this is a backup tub. He had a crack in the tub last week, and the plan is to repair that, because the tub is really critical, and he said they'll get that back for the next race at Nashville, but this one hasn't been used for several years. It's fine, but there are little nuances. Hinch, you could probably explain that. It's not where they want it to be, so this is a really impressive run.
Oh, yellow, turn 4.
What's
Hold on.
Turn 4.
What's this for? Turn 4 is the call, but what happened in turn 4? It's Ryan Hunter-Reay.
And you know what? Get ready.
Yep, got up in the marbles, hit the wall.
3-time winner.
This resets everything.
This is what happened to RHR, Ryan Hunter-Reay. He said, I just got up into the grade, got into the marbles, hit the wall. He's not the only one to do that today.
Carbon copy of Grant Rahall's incident yesterday.
Does anybody have anything for Joseph Newgarden? Will Power ducks out of the draft. Power goes to second immediately.
Power pushing Rosenqvist all the way up into the dirt. That's going to cost him a ton of spots. McLaughlin sideways trying to keep out of Rosenqvist.
McLaughlin was begging for tires, but he has to hang on for 3 more laps. And what does that do? Alex Palou now right up into 3rd position. That is not good for Newgarden.
Palou into 3rd, podium position with 2 to go, but it's side by side. Felix Rosenqvist on the bottom, McLaughlin up top.
McLaughlin told us on the radio he is barely hanging on. He's almost crashing. Dixon dives for the inside on Herter. Newgarden's got over half a second on his teammate Will Power. They're coming to the white flag. 1 to go. Less than a mile. McLaughlin is just dropping like a stone.
But remember, these cars are still a lap down. He is still in 5th as the last car on the lead lap. At the top of your screen, it's Joseph Newgarden out front.
Stand up and pay respects to this man, the king of corn country. Joseph Newgarden wins the weekend, does the double in Iowa. Unbelievably dominant performance from the Hitachi Chevy. Joseph Newgarden, the Indianapolis 500 champ. This is the Advanced Auto Parts checkered flag moment. 2 for 2, wins the weekend.
Lee down here following Joseph around. We weren't sure who all he was going to speak with, but that look right there. I think Palou wanted to tell you that he's still here, right?
I told him he wasn't supposed to finish there, and he told me to slow down today, but man, he's done a great job. You know, there's no doubt Alex has just been an amazing driver this year. He has been since he showed up, so pretty impressive to see his performance today. And you know, I think for us, we knew we had a great car, and the pressure was there because I think we wanted to execute on it and make sure it was a great weekend. I'm happy now. When you finish the first race, it's great to have a doubleheader, but you just feel incomplete until you get through today. And to be able to come back and do it again, and I think make our car a little bit better. I'm so proud of the team, Luke, the entire group, Chad, leading the boys is just is a fantastic effort from everyone. I can't thank Hitachi. Hitachi has been with most of my victories, I think, so to be with them and have them on the car is fantastic. And Team Chevy, we almost got a repeat of that 1, 2, 3 for Chevy, so sorry we didn't get that done, but they were phenomenal this weekend.
Joseph, 6 now at Iowa, the 1-1, if you will. You swept the weekend. What does that mean to you?
Well, it's very gratifying because, I know how good our car is here. And when you show up with a car like this, you've got the pressure to just execute and get the job done. If you don't get the job done, you feel like you did something wrong. And, I certainly felt that after qualifying, but to be able to, fix that and win a couple races, it's not so much last year I'm thinking of, it's just purely this year I wanted to make sure that we could execute.
Big gain yesterday on Alex, a little more gain today, and now you take it home to Nashville. Tell us about the championship and taking that to the home front.
Well, look, I'll speak about Alex again. He's a tremendous competitor. It's funny, he's actually my pickleball teammate, so we've got a little bit of a relationship, but he's great to run against. He's just one of the best that you're going to find in the world. So, You know, I think what he's done this year is easy. It's easy to see how he's gotten the points gap. He's been tremendous. His team's been tremendous. I hope that we can close that. We've got to win more races on the 2-car to be able to do it. But there's no doubt that he's been, you know, one of the best competitors that you can drive against. So I'm excited for the rest of the season. Who knows what will happen? This is IndyCar. Things change really quickly. So let's stick with it and, you know, see how it shapes up.
Watch the Big Machine Music City Grand Prix Sunday, August 6th at noon on NBC.